a student at NECC. I would like to speak about vinyl records, how they work and how they are made. I've always been interested in vinyl. Growing up, my mom collected records, and over the years she obtained some pretty epic albums, some of which you might recognize include The Doors, Johnny Cash, Cher, and Cyndi Lauper. Vinyl records have a unique artistic feel. The sounds, crackles, pops, and hisses add to the excitement, says author Duncan Davis of Collecting Records. Many records are collectibles. Some collectors will even pay thousands for a gem vinyl. What can you recall about records? Thomas Edison studied many things and made many discoveries. Among those were records. This speech is to inform you how records are made, how they work, and how they have influenced society. We'll look at a brief history, the process, and speak a little about collectors. The first record was played on November 20th, 1877 by Thomas Edison. The LP, or long playing record, was based from this. Sound consists of air vibrations that enter our ears and moves along nerve endings to the brain. Edison's understanding of this process shaped his experiments for inventing the record. The number of waves per second is called frequency. These waves' size or amplitude are what we process as loudness or softness. All sound abides these properties. To record a sound, song, or voice, the same technique is used. Edison built his Victrola to record sound. It was a metal cylinder with open ends wrapped in foil. Then he spoke into a sounding disc that vibrated. It was attached to a needle which etched the vibrations of his voice into the foil. These etchings looked like small hills revolving a cylinder. He was able to play it back by moving the needle back to the start of the etchings and turn the cylinder at the same speed during recordings. Vibrations played back out of the sounding disc and then amplified with a cup or pre-aged microphone. After much improvement, records were made. Edison's discoveries paved the way for record making. Next, let's look at the process of making records and their advancement. Just after World War II, records played in only one playing speed and on turntables at a rate of 78 revolutions per minute, or RPMs. These were called 78s. Peter Goldmark, a physicist, invented a record that revolved at less than half that speed in 1948. These were called 33s with 33.33 RPMs. The track of grooves for the needle were narrowed. These advancements allowed 6 times more music to be recorded on a single record. Large-scale production began and was ready for the era of Elvis and rock and roll. Recordings are made in a studio and recorded on iron oxide magnetic tape and then edited. The finished tapes are called the master tapes. This is used to make the master disc. The disc is made of aluminum and covered in soft black lacquer. A master engineer experiments with the spacing of the grooves, large fat grooves for louder sounds and narrow grooves for softer. The grooves are alike to the patterns of iron oxide particles on the magnetic tape, in that the vibrations or sound are imprisoned in the plastic. After master engineering and production followed the footsteps of science, the era of music, recording artists, and musical influence, which leads me to my next point, how vinyl records have influenced us. The first ever recorded artist was Jules Levia in 1878. He played Yankee Doodle on cornet, and the wax cylinder record could be played at home on the Edison's parlor speaking phonograph. Clearly we have come a long way since then. Record players were made. Artists like Elvis, the Beatles, and large-scale symphonies have greatly influenced society. Music is valuable to us, timeless and classic. Even with modern technologies and their successes, vinyl records facilitate human experience, explains author Joachim and Bittinger. Collectibles such as these have past and modern credibility. Today you can buy a new record for just $14. Some albums include photos, posters, and some rock genre vinyl include booklets up to 16 pages that are big collectibles, says Duncan Davis. Whatever your interest in records, the history, the science, or the influence on us, records are historical treasures preserved in time. Remembering the times associated with vinyl is like taking a trip in history. Their sound and quality will always be classic. They bring an artistic vibe that even modern fans of music can appreciate. I would like to give a presentation with a real record player and vinyls I brought. This here is the oldest of records, the 78. This one is pretty much antique. Here is a 45, which was after the 78. And here is a 33. I'm going to play Johnny Cash on the record player. Just place the needle right on the edge of the record.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Train a-comin', it's rollin' around a bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
I hope you have enjoyed my presentation and speech. Thank you for listening to me.